Test, test, 1, 2. There we go. All right, let's try that again. It seems our audio cut out, don't you? Hate it when that happens. When tech works, it's great. When it doesn't. Good morning, everybody. Jenna Fox here along with you. The Robot Gal, episode 15. This week in robotics, we have things happening. Oh my gosh, all kinds of stuff. Some of the highlights. 2Sync Google continues. 5 foods that give you energy. 5 years on a Mega Man project. And so much more. So stay tuned, won't you? Up next here on episode 15, this week in robotics. Well, hey, good morning. Episode 15, this week in robotics. The Jenna Fox, a.k.a. the Robot Gal, here along with you. So glad to have you guys along. Can't believe it. We're already on episode 15, trying to work out the bugs. I hope you guys are having a great week. Do you see my... there it is, right there. My cute little kitty poster. I love it. It feels like it's got that depth to it, in the back seat, and there's a little more life to it. We're hoping to get a cute little print. Anyway, to get our thing started, I hope you guys are having a great week up here on the East Coast. It is actually 10:30. We have pushed back our episode today till 10:30. We were unable to broadcast at 10 a.m. and we had to move our broadcast a half hour later this morning. But that's okay, because you guys always can find our episodes, usually by Tuesday. There has been some struggle, and we lost internet and our provider for this part of this past week, so we've had some issues and struggles getting back up online. We are officially back up online, and shortly after this episode, when we upload this episode, we will definitely be finishing and editing episode 14 so that you guys can catch up with us on that. To get right into our first story right here in Robots in Media. And by the way, one of our advertisers we'd like to share with you guys as well, Pond5, pond5.com. This is one of their great little integrated multimedias that we're going to get into when we're about halfway through our show. So Robots in Media is our first one. But before we get into media, we know where our show starts. Yes, those that have been following us along knows what this is going to spell. Yes, it's Robots in the News. Some of the top things that we have happening, as well as there's summer conferences that have been going on, robotic conferences as well, including tech and some other things. There is some interesting things that have been hyping around this Google's 2Sync. I'm sure some of you folks have been either of those that may have been part of the beta in the beginning or maybe following along. The Google 2Sync is a process where normally you would just have your login screen. And I actually had a viewer contact me about this, and they wanted me to explain this a little bit better. The Google 2Sync is a form of, normally before when you'd sign up for like any type of electronic mail, whether it be Outlook or Hotmail or YouTube, and of course, as you guys probably heard about Hotmail with the combination of Outlook, is normally you have to use, like when it comes to just about any other, whether it be in your phone or some other program that you have to log into, has a normal, it's called a 1Sync login, generally. And the one password that, and of course, as we suggest, it's always good to come up with a very long password code. And what it does is it actually takes it one step further. Now, of course, they know that 1Sync is mildly secure. 2Sync is fairly much better secure. And then, of course, 3Sync tends to be what they call the highest and best secure. Now, of course, with any type of security, there's never a complete fail-safe system, because no matter how fail-safe you make it, there's always going to be someone that's going to try to find a way to break it, because if it's created in some form, it's going to need to know how to get in the back door in some form or fashion. So with that said, the 2Sync that Google has been using now for some time, actually, it allows you to literally, as some of the army pirates, or hackers as some may have used to call them back in the day, they would be able to find this backdoor way to get in and basically crunch the numbers and have malware and other types of software that could find your password. Well, they felt that if they took a level of 2 sync, which means that you could do some sort of another resource like a physical item that is not available online, hence your cell phone or a smartphone in this case, or a laptop or tablet in some form or fashion, using, say, Google Voice in some form, because a lot of people aren't using phones as much and the texting, and they're integrating these types with like Skype and whatnot. And what they're doing is they are assigning it so that if you can at least have a phone number, your phone number will forward you a special, what we call a 2-sync code, in this case a verification code that is sent to your, for instance for me, I have it set up so it goes to my Google Voice so that I can log into I have a little netbook that I use instead of my tablet. And I keep that on. And that is sort of my phone because I make a lot of phone calls using Skype on that. And what it will do is it will come to, and it will say Google verification code, and it will give you generally this 6-digit code. And you put that code in, and then that will give you your 2-sync up code for being able to log into Google, hence giving you that second level of security. Now, generally, most of these folks don't have access to your actual phone. Now, of course, when it's Google Voice, it's online. There may be some way, but it's much more secure because that way they can't just get into your email. And it's important to have different passwords because if you have just one for every, I know it's hard because a lot of us, but there are some alternatives out there as well. We'll list those links as well on there. So as we're talking about that, one of the other highlights we wanted to do is we're always talking about tech and robotics and health, and we haven't covered a lot of health. And if you folks follow me over on youtube.com/TheJennaFox, where we have our live broadcast from, you will see that we have another show over there. I have a sort of, not really a show yet, but it's, at this point, it is more of just sort of updates of sort of the active process of me going through one of the workout programs. And some of these that we wanted to list for you, and I actually had a viewer contact me and said, Jenna, we know that you've done a lot in health, and for some of you that may not know that as well, and they wanted me to list some of the superfoods that either I use or some of my friends and family and other clientele have used. And some of them, of course, if you want to keep your energy up. Now, of course, again, this, you got to talk to your nutritionist, your PCP. I got to make sure I put the disclaimer out so that no one comes back and goes, Jenna, you said those foods were okay. No, you also have to remember allergies. You got to remember, I mean, there's so many I wish that we could come up with a much better. Now, there actually is a really, really cool tech coming out. If you guys have been following a lot of the newer tech, trying new ideas on Kickstarter all the time, there is a so-called tricorder that is finding new ways to be able to, because of course a lot of the tech that's in your cell phone can track humidity and things like that. It'll help you track different things, blood pressure and other types of things that need to be tracked on a much more digital scale. And I think it's exciting because it's sort of the introduction of, I think, where we will see these things over the next few decades, centuries, even sooner, hopefully, before I'm gone, I hope, cough, cough, but it's hard to say. So some of them are bananas that will help, very, very simple carbohydrates in those. Many levels of potassium helps it. Now, I obviously have to, even though I love bananas, I have to keep very low amounts of this because I already get potassium I take for my transition. I use estradiol and I use spirulactone, and spirulactone actually has a high amount of potassium in it, as well as a women's daily vitamin that has some of that in it. But you want to get more of the natural. So every so often, when I need a little energy boost, I pop me a banana. Good stuff. Lentils is another good one that you can eat. A lot of great amino acids, protein, vitamin materials. There is a ton of, you just, as well as, of course, you know, a lot of, we love black beans around here. We do a lot of that. Now, good natural oatmeal. We're not talking about that. And excuse me for saying, but in my opinion, the crud that's stuffed with high fructose corn syrup. Some of us will probably yelling and screaming at me, But for me, I only say that because it's my body reacting. It's not me of my opinion. That is the reaction of how my body is. It doesn't do well and function well with high fructose corn syrup. So I buy this very natural type of oatmeal that doesn't have all that extra stuff in it. And of course, you got to add some things in there. I'll add things like honey and bananas, wink wink, as well as berries and blueberries. And by the way, that is coming up in the list later. Oatmeal, eggs. Now you got to be careful because for some people, my nutritionist said you got to have all the white yolks you want. I mean, white parts of the egg that you want, but you can't have a lot because there's a lot of cholesterol in the center. But there's also good properties as well. So, and there's always this controversy going backwards. So what I do is I boil about half a dozen eggs and I let the water boil up for I set my timer for about 15 minutes, and then I set it for another 15 minutes while they're boiling. So they boil for about 15 minutes, and then I strain them out and I let them cool, and then I will refrigerate them in a little canister. And I just pop one a day. And what I do, though, I take out the yellow yolk and I eat the white. So I give myself a white egg every single day. Now, some people would add some things. I love just the taste of it just the way it is. Some people would say, it's bland and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Walnuts are another great one. Almonds, those types of nuts, they call them brain food. And it helps, especially when, unfortunately, I have had the unfortunate circumstance to have a family member of mine, very, very close to me, struggling with some Alzheimer's. So, and I do every day I use Brain Age. I use all these little tools to help my brain stay sharp if I can. And whenever I can get an opportunity to have a few of those, I don't get to very often because I can't always afford them, but it's nice. Dark chocolate, OMG. Okay, let me just say, I am a chocolate. Well, I used to be. And I still crave it, and a lot of times when people try to go on I don't like the word diet, I like food lifestyle, in my opinion. And to each his own. This is just my opinion, just one woman's opinion here, that's all. Dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate. And what I do is I'll sometimes put that in a little bit of peanut butter, protein, but I go with like Teddy peanut butter or like a natural peanut. I can always afford those best peanut butters. So I'll go with like a Teddy peanut butter, and I'll put a little bit of dark chocolate in there. And I enjoy that. We'll have to go much more extent in this because we're getting ready. I got to go into my sponsors and get ready to wrap up our show in the next 10 minutes because I have just a little bit of media, and then we got to wrap up our show as well. Dark chocolate is I just wanted to add real quick that that is a great little option so that people don't find themselves, because a lot of times if they don't balance themselves out with it, they will gorge. And what I will do is I will actually integrate just a little bit of dark chocolate after my supper, and I only need it like once a day, and it's perfect because then I don't find myself gorging for the rest of the week. Every so often I'll give myself a little popcorn treat in the evening, or maybe like a few whole wheat crackers, something like that. That helps. Coconut water, wow, naturally good stuff. Now that, in my opinion, is one of the best energy drinks, so that you don't have to go with like powdered Gatorade or powdered sugar or things like that. Coconut is one of my all-time faves. Now, you got to find the right flavor, though, because then there are some that, there's these cruddy ones out there that don't taste very good, and that's like that. And it's an acquired taste. A lot of people have an acquired taste. I found that, too, when I had soy, but that's a whole nother discussion. Yogurt. Now, what I like to do, I actually like to use, we'll have to do another actual show so I can show you folks some of these items. But I use one, it's called, some people pronounce it differently, Kefir, Kefir, and these are great. It helps regulate my system. It's so good. Vitamin B12, protein, all kinds of. Now be careful, want to watch out. You try to avoid high fructose corn syrup. Try to avoid high levels of sugar in some of those. Obviously, there's going to always be. And one of my all-time faves after is a green smoothie shake. C'est magnifique. But I love mixing it with all kinds of things. A little bit of pomegranate juice, blueberries and fresh blueberries, fresh strawberries. I love adding a little bit of kale, spinach in there. Let me just say, think bananas, apples, yogurts, combine all of these great things with some leafy greens and arugula. I can never pronounce it right. You know what? Off air, I can say it fine, and today I can't. Arugula lettuce. It's sort of a spring mix. These different types of greens are very, very good for you. So I just want to wrap that up. We're going to jump right into our advertisers today. Stamps.com, by the way. You guys have got to check these guys out. Stamps.com, one of my faves. So I don't have to leave the post office, especially on a rainy day like today. I don't want to get wet. I'd be like, I need some stamps. Okay, print them out. Giggity. Good stuff. Stamps.com, upper right-hand corner. Don't go for the normal $80 value special offer they have there. In the upper right-hand corner, it'll say radio and or podcast. Click there in the upper right-hand corner. And when you get ready to fill it out on the promo code, put in our email. Now, some people have been telling me that the email is not working. I apologize. I don't know why that is. We have contacted them. We're trying to fix that. We're going to try to put that link up. There might be a very funky long link with these 2 dashes in it. I'm not trying to make it complicated. Just trying to help save you guys some extra money. And you guys will get this great 5-pound scale. I love it. We have it here at $9.95. That's about the only upfront cost that I had to spend, $10. But it was great because it came with like $5 worth of stamps already that we just had to print out. It was a great little setup. Stamps.com. Check those guys out. You guys want yourself a nice little website set up, especially if you decide to take it a little bit further and go with e-commerce. You just wait. Squarespace.com. These guys have a great little setup, in my opinion. Now you can go out there, you can find free websites to set yourself up. We've seen ones like 9K, Wix, W-I-X. This is a great little setup because it takes it to a whole nother level. Now some of those are trying to integrate and they're not as advanced as this setup. But in my opinion, 14-day free trial, no problems, in my opinion. But some people may have run into some issues. Click that Get Started button. Go ahead and try it out. Check that out. Don't forget to put in our email addresses, who referred you there as well, so that you guys can get that extra. I want to do whatever I can to help you guys out to be able to succeed better in tech and take it to another level, because I know what it's like being on disability and not having any money and living on food stamps and having to live out of a... So, I mean, that is so important to me, to help save every little penny and allowing you to function and put together a nice little, and so it doesn't look tacky, which I hate that word because I can't stand how many people I've heard say that kind of thing to me, and I'm so tired of that. I wish they'd stop it now. Anyway, not going to get off on that little tangent, but just real quick, squarespace.com. These guys are great. They have 3 great little packages in there. Check those out. Unbelievably just great. And to finally sort of get ready to wrap this thing up, pond5.com. These guys are great. Remember, lower right-hand corner, when you guys log in there, just go ahead and create yourself a nice one. Talk about creativity. Every single week, I always grab it. This week's offer, they usually offer 1 piece of free media every single week. I always add it. This week's going to be free stock footage. Sorry, I apologize. I keep whacking the microphone here. We're trying to save up to get ourselves this really nice, gorgeous microphone. I hope it's gonna come to us very, very soon. Trying to save up. By the way, if you guys would like to, by all means, we would really encourage you to go over to PayPal. Send an email. TheJennaFox, TheJennaFox, at gmail.com. Send that email when you send any kind of donation. Would be greatly appreciated. It's just to help keep our equipment going over here so that we can actually hopefully take it to the next level to be able to do that, because right now we have a beautiful studio set up, green screen. We want to be able to do photography, we want to be able to do filming, and we need to get a smartphone. We're trying to save up for either an S3, we would love an S4. There's actually these nice little S4 minis that are becoming on sale now and getting fairly affordable. We'd love to be able to have the opportunity to use one of those. We at this point, but we're one of the few companies here in Maine that use smartphones in our films, and I think it's absolutely, now obviously there's pros and cons, we'll get into all that at some other point, but again, remember, pond5.com. And now to wrap things up, don't forget, one of our that we use from Pond5 that you guys can follow over there is the Robots in Media, if it will load. Now I'm not quite sure, maybe we're running into some issues here why this one's not loading correctly. I apologize. Anyway, we wanted to just kind of show, there was supposed to be another one that we had that looked just like that, where the robot arms pull together, Robots in Media. And just real quick, new episode wrapping up Teen Titans Go tonight on Cartoon Network. You guys can catch another rerun, Lost in Space. It's the sci-fi weekend, Lost in Space, and then you've got Star Trek, and I have actually been going back and rewatching a lot of the original episodes, and I've actually dug out and rewatched the new films, and then back to back with the older films to sort of compare, and I picked up a couple of new things that I forgot about, or that I didn't really catch on when I saw them before, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Going back and watching some of the series has been just great, just a blast, as well as some of the others. Bolts and Blitz. Have you guys caught this one on the CW? Great, fun, cute little show about a couple of little robot folks. It's a very cute little show, especially if you're a fan of robots. I think you guys would enjoy it. It's a very cute little show. Very enjoyable. So you guys check those out, Robots in Media. We will post those as well. And as we head into our last little segment for the day, and you guys know that our regular listeners and viewers know where we're heading with this one, you can email us over at TWIRTV, TWIRTV @gmail.com. Remember to put in the heading whether you want to be part of the studio audience. Come watch us live. We are Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. We're actually been considering to move to 11 because some of our folks that we're going to be interviewing really wanted they really want that extra hour. So we actually may be considering soon to shift. That will be our new fall schedule, shifting to 11 a.m. So that will just allow and give you guys plenty of time over the next month and a half or so as we head into our fall schedule. And some other things will be happening as well, so keep an eye out for that. So if you want to be part of the studio audience, TWIRTV @gmail.com. In the subject, put studio audience. If you want to be part of that, or on our radio show over at WOTR, you guys can also follow us over there. Send your music requests over there. We have a new radio station that we are bringing back to life, WOTR. We have had a lot of people asking us, and we will be able to integrate our audio show on there and be able to do some affiliate work as well, which we're very, very excited about as well. So that will be our other radio network that we have, WOTR FM 100, and we're very, very excited about that, to bring some new life to WOTR FM 100 as well. So we'll keep you guys posted on those links and all that good fun stuff that's happening as well. So again, also, if you want to be a guest, or you have a show idea, or you have a specific topic that you guys would like us to cover, by all means, put that in there. Put in the heading story, or in there anything else that you want to be part of, or part of show or interview. Some of those subjects that you guys can put in there. We encourage you guys to reach out and keep that conversation going too, by the way. We do check in over at TWIRTV at twitter.com/TWIRTV, TWIR. You can put @ or the hashtag to keep that conversation going over there as well. So we do encourage you guys, gals, and all those in between and non-identified as well. We send our love to all of you guys. I hope you're staying dry this week. There is so much more on the way. Hang in there. I hope you guys really enjoyed our show today. I hope you guys had a good week too. Did you guys have a good week? Share that with us over there on the conversation. Keep that conversation going. TWIRTV, TWIRTV That's twitter.com/TWIR TV as well. Don't forget our email if you want to get in touch with me. The easiest way to do that is TWIRTV, TWIRTV @gmail.com. Put subject Jenna if you need to get in touch with me personally in some form or fashion. I will do my best. There's no promises because Jenna, they say, where's your top? I'm just trying to help so many people. I want to help everyone, but I haven't learned how to clone myself. I haven't learned how to make myself into a robotic copy of myself, but we got to be careful because we don't know where that could go, or self-awareness, or other situations. Don't forget as well, part of our celebration for being able to reach and going live over on youtube.com/TheJennaFox on our live weekly update over there as well. That we're having some trouble actually going live. The countdown does continue, but the live feed for some reason is not working. We've been running into some issues and broadcasting troubles with the integrating inside problems of the we use the Wincast to integrate through the live broadcast over there, and actually there's another one we've tried to use as well. It's through Adobe. That we're really having some behind the scenes trouble, so we're trying to work through those to the best of our ability. There's no promises, but we're trying to, and we have a wonderful guest. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to see our wonderful new family member that we will be soon working on, actually a hobby kit show coming up for it as well, and I am so excited. Obviously he needs a lot of cleaning. We are going to be replacing his eyes with a beautiful blue, very tranquil blue color, and he unfortunately came to me with one arm gone. We're going to put a new servo in there, and we're going to clean him up, give him a robot spa, and I'm so excited. This has been a passion for mine of my whole life, ever since I was a child, and I always had a passion for robots, and every decade I always used to say, are we ready for robots? Are we ready for robots? It wasn't quite there. So it sort of got close by using this integration of a cassette that would give them basic commands that they would use, and actually we're going to be integrating that and putting this new LCD, and we're going to give him a whole new paint job, and we're so excited about that. And so we're really excited to have this wonderful new family member joining us. So I cannot wait for you guys to meet him. Here's a quick, we can urge him along and bring him out here. I will do my best to try to show you guys real quick just before